What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time for my 100 subscriber Q&A special. First, I just want to say thank you so much for getting me to over 100 subscribers. I've had a channel for a really long time, and I'm sure a lot of the accounts that are subscribed to me are dead right now, and there's probably not over 100 people watching my videos, but still, it's great to see my channel growing, and I thought this would be a good way to communicate with my audience, and I like the idea of doing Q&As. I think they're a fun concept, so without further ado, let's get this going. Okay, so the first set of questions come in from Othus Vice. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but thank you for sending in these questions. Question number 1. Favorite series of all time? That's like the perfect starting question, honestly, for like my very first Q&A. It's One Piece. The creativity, the characters, the world building, the storyline, the feels that it can bring. I absolutely adore One Piece. I think it's an absolute masterpiece of a series. So that's my favorite. Number 2, Toriko or Naruto? And I don't know the context of this question, if it's talking about, you know, what's my favorite series between the two, or who do I prefer as a main character between the two. I'm going to assume series, but just to choose between the two characters, Toriko, and to choose between the two series, also Toriko. It's just a better story. I mean, yeah, I'd say, yeah, it's a better story. It's a better story, it's got better action, it's got way less plot problems, way less inconsistencies. It's just overall a much, much better story and a much better series than Naruto. Anyways, number 3. Who's the best main character? Now, there's two ways I can answer this question. I could just say what my favorite main character is, and then I could say who I honestly think is the best main character that I've seen from an objective standpoint. My favorite main character is probably like a tie or a toss-up between, like, Luffy from One Piece and Goku from Dragon Ball. Very similar characters, but also different in a lot of ways. Goku, because he's just, when it comes to shonen, you don't see a character, at least not often, you don't see a character grow up from childhood all the way to adulthood and become a father and go through his entire life like that. Well, not his entire life, but you know what I mean. So I think he's unique from that perspective, and I've always loved Goku. And Luffy, crazy creative abilities, funny character. He's got depth to him that a lot of people take for granted. They don't really realize all the aspects there are to Luffy. So yeah, it's kind of a toss-up between those two, but who would I say is like the objectively like the best character, like the best main I've ever seen? That's really hard to say. You know, you got to consider character development and their place in the story and all that, so I can't really answer that one off the top of my head in this video, but yeah, definitely love Luffy and Goku. Hopefully that answers your question. Number 4, worst manga. See, it's hard because I would probably say like Naruto, but I mean there's probably worse out there because I mean there's just so many manga and there's bound to be really, really bad ones. I just personally haven't seen them, but I'd say the worst popular, ongoing, well not ongoing, what should I say, long-running, there we go. The most popular, long-running, you know, substantial series I've seen that I think is the worst I've seen is Naruto. Oh, excuse me, Naruto. Voice cracked a little bit. I'll get into more about Naruto later, but, because there's a question kind of pertaining to that, but, yeah, maybe Naruto. So, yeah, number 5. Who's your favorite reviewer? That's kind of a weird question for me, just because like I watch reviewers occasionally, but I don't know if I'd really have like a favorite. I guess I like some of the videos, some of the subject matter that Unexpected Wonder tackles because they're just different discussions than most other reviewers. But again, I don't watch very often, and kind of just stick to my own reviews. Like I said, I'll occasionally do it, but I don't know, just. If I do watch, it's usually after I've already made my own video so that their opinion doesn't influence mine at all. So, yeah, I guess not really a good answer to that question, but I don't really have an answer for it. Anyways, those are all the questions from Your name was Othus Vice, or however you say it. Again, apologies for mispronouncing it. So now I'll move on to the next set of questions. Again, thanks for sending in the questions. The next set of questions comes from Mr. Badass Anime. I'm not going to say that entire fucking username. Way too long. First question is, what do you think is the most well-made anime ever? I would probably say, because my favorite anime is One Piece, but I'd probably say the most well-made anime ever is probably Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. From the animation, to the pacing, to the story progression between each episode, to the music and voice work from the Japanese and English dub. It's just absolutely fantastic. The animation never goes below absolutely stunning. The artwork is great, almost, if not all the time. Again, great music, great voice work. I think it's just, from a technical standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, the story itself is, of course, amazing, too, and the characters are great. But yeah, I'd probably say Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. My only nitpick is that it feels a little rushed in the beginning, but that's really only if you compare it to the original Fullmetal Alchemist. I mean, if you look at Brotherhood on its own, the pacing of the first few episodes is fine. I think it's just that if you've seen the original, you know they're skipping a few things or condensing a few things, and then it feels rushed. But I thought the pacing was fine from like an objective standpoint. So Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, I think, is the most well-made anime. Number 2, worst anime I've seen. Well, I mean, I'd say the Rave Master anime because it's pretty bad, but I haven't really seen it all the way through. I've only seen like the first 2 episodes, and it already was doing like weird filler, moving shit around, and I was like, no, fuck that. So, I mean, that's probably a pretty bad adaptation. It doesn't even finish, actually. But, I don't know. I mean, I can't say like Naruto, because like, I think the manga's bad, but as far as the anime goes, I mean, I guess it's fine. It does a good job adapting it from what I've seen. You know, a lot of filler, but whatever. Fairy Tail, you know, again, fine job adapting it. You know, sometimes the animation, especially in this new anime that they're doing, animation can be a little bit bad sometimes, but still. So, worst anime I've seen, I guess I'll go with the Rave Master anime. Because even the Toriko anime, as different as it is from the manga and censored and everything, I can still enjoy the Toriko anime. So as long as I can enjoy it, it's not the worst I've seen. So I guess I'll go Rave Master, since I pretty much dropped it after 2 episodes and I love the manga. That really says something about how bad the anime was, at least in my opinion. Next question. When did FT start to fall off for you? I'm assuming FT means Fairy Tail. Later than most people. I kind of stuck with the series throughout the Grand Magic Games arc, which a lot of people were saying, you know, got really bad around, like, Elfman versus Bacchus. And yeah, I mean, but I was like, you know, I can kind of see where, you know, that fight's coming from a certain perspective. And even the Sting stuff, when he surrendered, I was still kind of like, well, maybe from a plot writing standpoint, just not from a character standpoint. Like, I knew it was a flaw, but I was just kind of like, I don't take Fairy Tail that seriously. And then I went through the Tartaros arc, and it just started having a ton of problems where they just kept piling on, piling, and I was like, I won't take the series seriously, it's a guilty pleasure, whatever. I just have some fun reading it occasionally. And really, the Avatar arc, or maybe like late Tartaros, is just the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, spoiler alert, when Igneal died, and then you find out that the fucking dragons were like these half-dead spirits already, and that they were gonna fade away and basically completely die anyway. The fact that he died by Acnologia's hands means absolutely fucking nothing. I mean, it was just so stupid. And then the Avatar arc with the horrible villains, and Natsu one-shotting a fucking god, and Gray with the whole Naruto rip-off shit, even though he wasn't really, you know, he didn't turn evil, because that'd be interesting, even if it's a Naruto ripoff. And just too many One Piece parallels after the time skip, and not the first time skip, the second time skip, the 1 year one. And just, Fairy Tail, not good. Not good at all. And that's pretty much where it started to fall off. Like, late Tartaros, you know, Avatar arc. But it was building up since, like, the Grand Magic Games with all of its shitty parts. So, yeah. Next question. Do you think Mayuri is broken, love him or hate him? I think Mayuri is a Bleach character. I don't read Bleach, so I can't really say too much about if he's, like, broken or overpowered or anything. But he's like the mad scientist dude with like the dark face and like the lines, I think, maybe, and like the weird head wear that he has. I never really cared for him when I was reading Bleach slash watching it occasionally. I mean, I watched it way back when like Soul Society was airing on like Adult Swim, but as far as reading it goes, I dropped the series, but he never really did anything for me. I never really found him like funny or cool or badass or anything. He just kind of existed. He was there. That's how it is for a lot of Bleach characters. I think a lot of Bleach characters are kind of just meh or lame as fuck. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I dropped the series, is characters need to be interesting for me, and if they're not, it kind of gets boring. So yeah, can't really say too much about him as far as his powers go, but he never did anything for me. Anyways, moving on. Farhan Kapadia sent in a ton of questions, not just about anime and manga though, which is good. So yeah, thanks for those questions, and I'll of course thank you, Mr. Badass Anime, for your questions as well. So first question from Farhan Kapadia, if I'm pronouncing that right. When is that top 10 badass old men video gonna come out? Yeah, I don't think maybe I have, but I don't think I really announced this video. But in a comment, I said, yeah, you know, because I think it was during maybe my Hunter x Hunter time, or maybe it was a different series I was talking about, but I always talk about how awesome the old man is in anime and manga, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a top 10 list. I said it in a comment, it'll be like my first video of 2015. Psych! No, that didn't fucking happen. Apologies, but hey, I can make it actually really soon. I can make it probably within the next couple weeks, since I'm not reviewing anything from episode 1 anymore. I have some free days in between when chapters and episodes come out, so yeah, I'll definitely be getting it out within the next couple weeks. Moving on to question number 2. Who is your favorite anime protagonist? Like I said, Luffy or Goku. He asked me one day, it could be Goku. He asked me the other day, it could be Luffy. Really, really love those two characters, though. They're right up my alley, so yeah. Number 3. Which demographic do you prefer, shonen or seinen, and why? Shonen. I haven't really seen too many seinens, but I've seen like Berserk, the 3 movies. They're great. I've seen the Parasite anime. It's great also, but I just like the creativity of shonens. I mean, I'm sure there's adventure seinens out there and stuff, but I like shonens, their creativity, their fun atmosphere that they can have, the creative abilities and the comedy and everything. It's just kind of something I like more so than seinen, which are usually more serious and dark, and, you know, they don't have to be, I guess, but, you know, and I liked Berserk a lot, and I liked Parasite a lot, but yeah, considering those are the only 2 seinens I can think of that I've seen, considering all the shonens I've seen, I definitely would say I prefer shonen. Number 4, how was I introduced to anime? Well, nobody in particular really introduced me to it. I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was younger, didn't really think of it as an anime, so I'd probably have to say Naruto on Toonami, because that was when I knew it was anime, and I was watching it, and I was loving the shit out of it, and yeah, I'd pretty much say that's when I got introduced to anime. Dragon Ball Z would be the introduction, but like I said, I didn't really know it was anime at the time. Same thing with Pokemon. You guys say Pokemon was my introduction, but I don't really... It's an anime, but you didn't really consider it that when you were a kid, so yeah, I'll just go with Naruto on Toonami. Question number 5 is, what is your favorite seinen? Well, of the 2 that I've seen, or at least of the 2 that I can remember seeing, Parasite and Berserk, I would have to go with Berserk. Next question. Basically the question is, who do I think is the strongest to weakest between, like, the big 3? Naruto, Luffy, Ichigo from Bleach. And then also there's a thing about Toriko in there. I see this question as kind of something I've thought about doing in videos, versus matchups. I like the idea of taking characters from 2 different anime and pitting them against each other, looking at their strengths and weaknesses, and, you know, it's all hypothetical and everything, but it's a fun idea that I thought about doing. So to actually like break this down, I'd have to do Bleach research because I don't know enough about Ichigo and all that. So I can't really answer, but if I had to just guess, I'd say Toriko top, then like Naruto, then Luffy, then Ichigo. Maybe Naruto and Luffy tied. So yeah. But Toriko, I mean, infinite spike sponge. I mean, what the fuck? So yeah. I'd probably rate them like that, but again, I could do the math or do the research, whatever. So yeah, and I may do videos like that in the future, do anime versus matchups from different series, because I think it's a fun idea. Tell me what you guys think about me doing videos like that in the comment section below. But anyway, moving on to the next question. Number 7 and 8 are why do I love Fairy Tail and why do I love Naruto. I'm assuming these are sarcastic questions. I don't like Fairy Tail because it's just poorly written. It's lazily written. It has way too many friendship power-ups, way too many repetitive fights. The friendship power-ups themselves are repetitive. It's just, it has no logic almost ever. It has nice artwork, but way too much fan service. So, yeah, that's why I don't like Fairy Tail. Also, Rave Master, written by Hiro Mashima, is like in my top 10, like high top 10. And Fairy Tail started off pretty good, and then just devolved into being crappy. And I know this author can put out good work because Rave Master's amazing, so yeah, I don't like that aspect about it. But with Naruto, I love the first part of Naruto. Like, I said Fairy Tail starts off, it's pretty good. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's good. With Naruto, it's amazing. Like, rip off of Hunter x Hunter, whatever, some things are ripped off, but it's still well told. It still has great characters. It still has really good animation for its anime, good artwork in the manga. Well, I guess Kishimoto started off with some not the most amazing art, but you know what I mean. It's still good artwork and good characters, again, like I said, and it just, when you hit that time skip, and the first arc, it's pretty good, Sakura's got development, but it becomes so bad. So many plot holes, so many inconsistencies, so much bad writing, so much lazy writing. Moments where I'm just like, really, do you think I'm stupid? Like, oh, I'm gonna give Sakura this, shining moment in the middle of the war where she does the fucking forehead thing and beats up all these fodder fucking ten-tail things, and then she's gonna go right back to being useless, but hey, she matters because of one little moment I threw in. It feels lazy, it feels cheap, there's a lot of moments like that. Really makes me feel like he thinks I'm stupid as someone who's reading it, like, oh yeah, Sakura's so fucking cool. Like, no, she's not. It was a lazy, cheap-ass attempt. The Obito crap. Oh my god, the ending war just sealed the deal with how bad the series was. It was on full fucking display. But, anyway, don't want to talk about that too much. I'll move on to the next question. How do I feel about Spider-Man joining the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I'm cautiously optimistic, more leaning towards optimistic. I really only think Marvel has fucked up their villains, and I don't want Spider-Man's villains to be fucked up, but they've done a good job on their heroes, so I feel like they're probably going to do a good job on Spider-Man. Don't know too much about this new guy who's playing him, but hey, if they cast him, hopefully he does a good job. Paul Rudd was good as Ant-Man and everything, so yeah, hopefully this new guy is good as Spider-Man, because Andrew Garfield's a hard act to follow, because he was great, but yeah, I'm just cautiously optimistic because Marvel has made mistakes with Spider-Man. Like the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon and the Superior Spider-Man and, Miles Morales and all that stuff and killing off Peter Parker. Is just no. So they have made mistakes with the character, but hopefully for the movie universe they do him justice. So, moving on to the next question. Favorite superhero and favorite supervillain. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. Relatable, fun, cool, unique abilities, not too overpowered. Cool costume, love Spider-Man. Favorite villain, the Joker. He's psychotic, he's funny, he's sarcastic, he's fucking so many ranges of emotion in the Joker. He can be tragic, he can be whatever, you don't know what his backstory is. I prefer that kind of Joker. But yeah, he's a great character, he's a great villain, a great foil for Batman. Love the Joker. Pretty much most incarnations of the Joker are pretty cool too, especially in the movie sphere. Don't know about Jared Leto yet. I'll have to see more of him. I'm not too keen on what I saw in the Suicide Squad trailer, but still, the Joker is an awesome villain. I'll move on to the next question. Question number 11 is, which do I prefer, Marvel or DC? And what do I think of both of them? Well, for live-action movies, I prefer Marvel because they just have a way better track record. DC has Man of Steel, which is good, a little bit rough around the edges, Green Lantern, which is crap, The Dark Knight The Dark Knight Rises, which I think is crap, and a couple other not-so-good movies. Whereas Marvel turned, Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man into very fun and enjoyable movies. So, Marvel, way better track record. So, for live-action movies, it's Marvel. For animation, though, definitely DC. Batman the Animated Series, The Dark Knight Returns animated movie, Under the Red Hood, fucking Mark Hamill is the Joker, Kevin Conroy is Batman, the Justice League cartoon. They have so much great animation, so many great animated movies and shows. So yeah, DC for animation for sure, but Yeah, I prefer Marvel for like the live action movies. I can't comment on the comic books. I don't read comics. So, moving on to the next question. How do I feel about the whole Goku versus Superman matchup thing? I'm assuming it's the screw attack thing that happened somewhat recently. It was kind of a while ago now. With Goku versus Superman rematch. Uh, Superman wins. I mean, sure, there's probably a version of Superman out there that Goku can beat. Maybe like the very first Superman who was like bulletproof, jumped really high, and had super strength. You know, maybe that Superman, but there's versions of Superman that are just even more overpowered than the one they had him fight. You know, it's just Goku can't beat certain versions of Superman. It's just how it is. The fanboys of Goku need to just relax. Like I said, he might be able to beat some versions of Superman, but not the mainstream one. You know, not Prime 1 million and all that shit. I don't read comics, but I know certain things about comics. So, yeah. But, and I think the raging is ridiculous. It's all hypothetical. Like, if I made a video where I pit, like, two characters against each other and I say who would win, number one, it's my thoughts on it based on the evidence and the facts before me, and it's also all hypothetical anyway, so it's nothing to get fucking mad about. If the one you want to win loses, you'd be like, oh, it's dumb or whatever, but it's not worth raging. It's all just for entertainment. Just relax about it for all the fanboys out there, but yeah, those are my feelings on it, so I guess I'll just move on to the next one. What type of genres am I usually interested in gaming? 3D platformers, which is extremely sad for me because 3D platformers practically don't exist anymore. I'm talking about stuff like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Super Mario Galaxy, you know, stuff like that, the 3D action platforming games. They just don't, they just don't happen anymore. You know, most of them are on Kickstarter now, it seems like this new ukulele game that's like a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. You know, we gotta go to Kickstarter to get these 3D platformers. It's just really sad. So I kind of don't like that that's my favorite genre, but I just think it has a lot of creativity to it and everything. Yeah, I like action beat-em-ups too. A little bit of third-person, I guess, third-person shooters, if there's more to it than just third-person shooting. If that's all there is to it, I'm probably going to get bored. I like Dynasty Warriors style games to a certain extent, but not Dynasty Warriors like itself. That kind of bores me, but if it has characters I like the Pirate Warriors games for One Piece, that's cool. Fighting games sometimes. But yeah, mainly 3D action platformers, but yeah, there are other genres I like. Next question. What game series am I into, including my favorite? Well, game series that I'm into, well, like I said, Sly Cooper, the Ratchet and Clank series, Mario Galaxy. I like me some God of War sometimes. I like Zelda to a certain extent. I've only beaten Wind Waker, but still, it was really fun. What else have I played? I liked the what are they called? They don't really have like a name, I guess, but the Shadow of the Colossus and the game Ico or Ico, however you call it. Those are good games. Yeah, it's really... I mean, of course there's more, but those are like the ones I really like. And my favorite is Jak and Daxter. Great world, great mythos and mythology, great characters, great story, fun gameplay. I love Jak and Daxter. Easily my favorite gaming franchise of all time. Hope they make another one in the future. Anyways, next question. My favorite console and my console that I usually play on the most. My favorite console of all time is the PlayStation 2. Again, Sly Cooper, God of War, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Shadow of the Colossus, Ico. So many games on the PlayStation 2, so many good exclusives. But the system I'm playing the most as of recently, the Wii U, because I played stuff like Super Paper Mario, and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and Mario Galaxy 2. Just really games that are, easy to jump into. Been playing some old Guitar Hero games. I kind of got back into that for some reason. I like that franchise too. Only rhythm games I've ever been good at. So yeah, but I've been playing my Wii U a lot recently. But anyways, I'll move on to the next one. What games am I looking forward to? Star Fox Zero, Mario Maker, the new Legend of Zelda game. Not until 2016, of course, but still looking forward to it. Uncharted 4, I'm looking forward to. Ratchet and Clank looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to the new Ratchet and Clank reboot. So, yeah, those are the ones I can think of right off the top of my head. So yeah, I guess I'll move on to the last question. I believe the last question. Yes, the last question. Favorite video game story and character? That's a really, really, really hard one. I don't know if I can give you like a definitive answer, but if I was to name some game stories that I like the Metal Gear Solid game storylines. I never played the games, but I've seen them played. My friend like showed me like, hey, dude, you want to watch the Metal Gear Solid game for like the story and everything? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch you play, whatever. It's like a front row seat to a Let's Play practically. And I thought the story for the Metal Gear Solid games was great. I like the stories for all the Jak and Daxter games. Sly Cooper games have pretty cute stories. They're nothing mind-blowing, but they're good, especially the second one. Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction and Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time. God of War games have pretty good stories. I like the story for Asura's Wrath. That was a good video game story. But, yeah, I can't really think of, like, a definitive one. Favorite video game character? I really like Daxter. He's really funny. He's really awesome. I love Pac-Man, too. Not, like, little, like, circle Pac-Man, but just the one where he's kind of, like, 3D. He's the one from Smash Brothers, like, the old-school 30s cartoon eyes and everything. I love him for some reason. I love the design, his voice that they gave him. He's a fun character. But yeah, it's hard to say who like my favorite video game character is of all time. I like Mario too, and again, thank you for sending in these questions. Feel free to send in questions anytime during my videos in the comment section below. I may do Q&As every once in a while, like once a month or something. So if you have a question, send it in. They're not all going to be this long. I'll probably just grab like 5 or 6 questions, answer them in a quick video, and be done with it, and just have like that be like the monthly Q&A thing, because I like the idea of doing these. They're fun. So thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. Was it boring? Was it entertaining? Did I answer your questions the way you wanted them answered? That's pretty much it. So follow me on Instagram, I guess. Post things there sometimes. Thumbs up this video. That helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.